Hello, Internet! Welcome back to Bazzle Spot Live. I think we've made our way through another week. It's a miracle. But we're here again with the Blastoise team and the Scrafty team. Let's not forget Scrafty and Rayquaza and Xerneas and Nick from Scotland. That's where I am now. Hello, Nick from Scotland. If you're Scottish, if you live nearby to Edinburgh, say hello to me in the comments and maybe I know who you are. But hello, Nick from Scotland. Okay. Also, if you've noticed a theme with my clothing this week, then well done to you. You obviously know many world championships. But all right, let's try and focus on. So he's got a very standard looking team. Groudon, Xerneas, blah blah blah. Blastoise looks very good here, aside from his Coco leading, which he very easily could. I'm going to go with Blastoise and Coco of my own. I do need Xerneas and I do need Rayquaza, I think, but maybe this is wrong. Maybe I should be more Xerneas focused of my own here. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I've got enough time to go back on everything. I'm going to go Blastoise, Xerneas, Rayquaza, and Volcarona in the back. Let's make Volcarona do something. Yeah, that was a U-turn, wasn't it, in Team Preview? I've just led Blastoise and Coco so many times, and I don't think it's that great of a lead, because like if he leads Incineroar or Coco, then we can just trade Fake Outs, and then Blastoise is vulnerable to the electric attacks. I'm not really going anywhere there. At least this is a bit more of, it feels more of a proactive lead. Like I'm the one threatening with the Geomancer here. I'm the one that's okay, yeah. I'm the one that's gonna take the game by the throat, by the horns, and do stuff to it. So I have got Volcarona in the back. I don't really fear his Xerneas setting up that much. So maybe I just take out the Incineroar, both Geomancy, and that's that. He will go for a Fake Out into my Xerneas, surely. So I could maybe just try and Roar his Xerneas instead of a Fake Out, and waste his Power Herb like that. You know what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to bother with Fake Out. I'm just going to go for a Roar into his Xerneas, because in a Xerneas versus Xerneas face-off like this, surely you want to Geomancy. You need to Geomancy to be the better Xerneas. So there's the Fake Out, and there we go. So we've got rid of his Power Herb. Brilliant. And, because I've still got Blastoise on the field, depending on what I roar him into, could be his type of Coco, I threaten with a big, wet, splishy, splashy Z move into his Incineroar next turn. So turn 1, I've taken a bit of chip damage. He's lost his Power Herb, and here's the Salamence actually. Okay. So we do threaten with the big wet, splishy, splashy, splosh thing. And I sort of threaten with a Geomancy. But if I go for the Z Water into his Incineroar, he could very easily bring Groudon in there. Maybe an Icy Wind and Geomancy, because then if he Tailwinds, I'm still going to be faster next turn. No, I think I'm going to go for the big wet load into Incineroar and try and Geomancy. Just because I think everyone just U-turns with Incineroar. Apart from this guy, who does bring in the Groudon. So I should have gone for the Icy Wind there. I changed my mind last minute, and it didn't work out for me. I should have Icy Winded there. But yeah, literally, like my last minute train of thought there was, everyone feels safe with Incineroar. Everyone just, especially when it's on full, everyone just clicks U-turn and and cycle into whatever else. If like I've wasted my Z move. I knew I should have gone for the Icy Wind there, because then he still would have been slower than Xerneas now. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. But at least we give him another turn to make a ballsy play here. Because do I protect an Icy Wind? I'm not showing Icy Wind yet. Do I protect an Icy Wind, which will still put me faster, or... I mean, I think I do protect an Icy Wind. So his ballsy move would be to double into the Blastoise. Because it's not knocking Blastoise out with one Double Edge or one Precipice Blade. It could be Raw on the Groudon though, couldn't it? It could be Raw on Groudon. Why am I fearing Raw on Groudon? Let's think about this. It's not going to be Raw on Groudon. Knew should have Icy Winded last turn. Double Edge, okay. Press, yeah. It's not going to be Raw on Groudon. And we just need to hit this Icy Wind, and we're not looking too bad. Good. So this is how we would have been if I just Icy Winded last turn, but with a bit more help from Blastoise. So now, all right, now I Dazzling Gleam, but he's going to protect his Salamence, or switch it to Incineroar. I'm pretty sure he's going to protect it. So I'm going to bring in Rayquaza here, and I feel like I've got to just Dazzling Gleam here. But he has taken a bit of chip damage, and a Dazzling Gleam plus a Moonblast might knock it out. If he's going for a Fire Punch here, then the Airlock is reducing the power, but I think it'll just be a Precipice Blade. Yep, Salamence protects. Like, it's the most frustrating games are the ones where you just know what's happening. You know everything about what's happening. But even the Fire Punch here. But things just go wrong for you. Like, it is my fault. Like, I have made the wrong moves here. But is another Fire Punch going to knock Xerneas out? What did he have in the back? He had his own Xerneas and Incineroar, wasn't it? But he had used his Power Herb. I think I have to Dazzling Gleam here. But does my Rayquaza Extreme Speed into the Groudon? I don't think so, because I don't think that would knock it out with a combination. So maybe I Swords Dance here. Because then, just like in 16, I'm getting something either way from this turn. If Xerneas goes down, I'm getting my Rayquaza set up. I just don't think an Extreme Speed and Dazzling Gleam is going to knock the Groudon out from where it is. Else I'd probably have gone for that. But knowing that he's used his Power Herb, I feel a bit safer setting up with Rayquaza here. I mean, Extreme Speed would have been close there, but it's actually faster. Is he roaring? I said it wasn't going to be... No, he isn't. I said it wasn't going to be Roar on Groudon. I'd actually survive. Alright, that might have clutched us the game there, then. He will bring Incineroar in now. He's bringing in a Xerneas, okay. Well, I'm not sure why. Because if he had any chance, it was to threaten with a fake out. Because that Groudon is in Dazzling Gleam range now. He's lost his Tailwind. So I can literally just go for a Dragon Ascent into Xerneas and a Dazzling Gleam. If he protects his Xerneas and sacrifices the Groudon for the Incineroar, then he has used his Power Herb. Goodbye, Xerneas. Did Volcarona didn't do anything in this game, did it? The only thing Volcarona... I did bring Volcarona, didn't I? The only thing Volcarona did in this game was make me feel like I was safer if my opponent Geomanted. But then I had Blastoise covering me with Aurora there anyway, so whatever. But yeah, let's just finish this off then. We are a +1 extreme speed now. We don't need to protect. We don't need to do anything fancy like that. Yeah, it's just forfeit the game. And let's look for one more game. And the capture card has made its way through another video. It's a miracle. I really don't know how it's... I'm not even going to move close to it because I do not want it to cut out now. Yep. Okay. And let's pick a different music. I always forget to pick different music, don't I? Whatever. I've moved it one onto whatever that one is. All right. Yeah. So I mean, I suppose we'll decide at some point what I do next week. I mean, this has only been 6 videos with this team, so you know, hopefully you're not getting sick of it. I probably, if I am going to record some more with this or with a different team, it probably will be before this video goes out. So it doesn't really matter what you comment, I suppose, if you want more of this or a different team, because I'm not really going to see it. But maybe, yeah, it's only been 6 videos with this team, so maybe I'll do another week with it. But maybe I don't know, maybe I'll change it up. Maybe I'll use a different team. I don't know. But as long as we're climbing a bit, I mean, we've had some dire games, haven't we? To be honest, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like the most difficult games are the ones at the beginning of the ladder, which is a stupid thing to say, isn't it? But I mean, sometimes it feels like that. Like, my win rate against the best players in the world is probably the same as my win rate against, you know, the most average players in the world, which is, you know, probably says more about my playstyle and me than anything really. But let's stop analysing things with a bit too much depth and hope we find another opponent, because yeah, it looks like everyone has deserted Battle Spot because they know I'm online now. They know that the fearsome man with little hair is on Battle Spot, taking people out with Blastoise. So you might have had a sneaky peek at the team 2 there. That the team 2 in my boxes there is a team that I did use in Bristol, which probably would be what I'd use next, but it's not a solid team. I think this is more of a solid team than the Bristol team. I think this is probably more fun as well too, but it's a lot darker now, isn't it? The sun is going down, as what tends to happen with days. But yeah, it's going to be interesting living up here in Scotland when it does get to like midsummer, because like we are so far north now. Or I'm so far north. It's not going to get dark until very, very late. But I feel like I've played this person. I might have played this person in a video last week, maybe. Maybe. But let's just play another game, and I don't know. Maybe I haven't played this. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. Who knows? But I think I do want Scrafty here. Maybe. Yeah, I think my Xerneas mode looks okay here, as long as I've got Scrafty in the back. So Blastoise, Xerneas, Scrafty, and Rayquaza. I guess it has to be. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. What happened in that last game? This is what happens when you get old, or this is just what's happening to me, apparently. You just forget things. I feel like I won the last game, didn't I? But my brain just doesn't work anymore, does it? I don't know. I feel like I roared the Xerneas turn 1. Is that what happened? I'm just living in my own world here, really, aren't I? But anyway, let's do this, and then I can eat and make thumbnails. Right, Tapu Koko Xerneas. Okay. That's interesting. Because I haven't brought my Volcarona in the back. I'm a little bit more fearful about him Geomancying, but... And I can't just roar this turn because he's got the Tapu Koko there, so I'm going to go for a Fake Out into his Tapu Koko and a Geomancy, and trade Geomancies. And then the next turn, I will be able to knock his Koko out with my Xerneas. I'm just debating, is it a Moonblast or is it a Dazzling Gleam? Because if it's not Assault Vested, I can just Dazzling Gleam. If it is Assault Vested, I need to Moonblast that so that my Blastoise is free to roar his Xerneas. I can only roar his Xerneas if he Dazzling Gleams as well too. This Blastoise can survive a +2 Dazzling Gleam, but it can't survive a +2 Moonblast. So there are many different things that can happen here. But I do imagine at the end of this turn 1, we're both going to be sat with shiny setup Xerneases and a little bit of chip damage on that Tapu Koko, which is what seems to be happening. Now, there's no way to know if that Koko is Assault Vested or Z or whatever, a different item at this point. I will look at his team in just a moment just to see if I can maybe see if there's a Z move anywhere else, but because I'm just thinking, I'm definitely roaring here. It's just a question of, do I Dazzling Gleam or do I Moonblast? Assault Vest Koko is one of the more common ones, but we'll see if there's any more obvious places for a Z move on his team. So the Bronzong could have it, but maybe not with a Koko on the team. And the Incineroar could have it as well too. You know, I'm thinking maybe that is a Z Koko. So I'm going to roar the Xerneas here. And I'm just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam, which is maybe greedy of me, because this is literally just for a little bit of extra damage on the Xerneas. But I don't have to worry about that, because unless he Moonblasts my Blastoise here, I'm okay. But if he does Moonblast my Blastoise here, he's not getting any damage on my Xerneas. And he is Moonblasting my Blastoise. Okay. But now we know that that's not an Assault Vest Tapu Koko, so I can go into Rayquaza and Dazzling Gleam and Dragon Ascent. He must have known I'd roar. Now, do I Mega Evolve my Rayquaza? Dazzling Gleam will bring Xerneas down to just under half, around half. I Mega Evolve my Rayquaza, because it's going to be taking my Rayquaza down to the Sash anyway. So it doesn't matter if my Delta Stream's up or not, does it really? Now, best case scenario here is that he Moonblasts my Rayquaza, thinking that I'm Assault Vested. But surely he Dazzling Gleams here. Oh, he's protecting. Okay, I thought that might happen, but... Is it Incineroar coming in now, then? Because as far as he knows, I still could be Assault Vested. Yeah, so it is Incineroar. Surely he has to have Sash in the back of his head as well, though. And I've got Scrafty in the back, so I really do need to take care of this Xerneas. Might need to make some calls here. I'm going to protect Rayquaza and Dazzling Gleam. Should have just protected. Well, I've been good at doing that, haven't I? Just throwing stuff away like this. But again, he knows that I'm not Assault Vested now, so he knows that I can probably just double into that Xerneas and maybe win the game. So what I'm going to do now is make a call. I'm going to Swords Dance and Moonblast his Incineroar. Yes, Barry finally made a good move. Because he's probably going to U-turn on my Rayquaza to break the Sash. He'll know I'm a Sash now. But then he'll have it Intimidate back in, and oh, he's just snarling. So he's broken the Sash, but but I don't think he's got any more Intimidates in the back, has he? So I think I can just Extreme Speed and Moonblast his Xerneas. I'm assuming that my Xerneas is faster. It has been faster every turn that we've both moved. He has just protected his Xerneas as well here, so unless he wants to try and get a double protect. I think a +1 Extreme Speed and a +1 Moonblast gets the Xerneas. I think. It will be close. It will be close. He has got another Intimidate in the back. Okay. But if my Xerneas sticks around here, we still might be okay. I thought he would have Kyogre in the back. Moonblast is still enough, though. Whew. Phew. That was a scary turn. I just assumed that he had Kyogre in the back. But Salamence is still a very good Pokemon, obviously. And now he goes for a Fake Out into Xerneas and Tailwind. So I'm going to switch Rayquaza into Scrafty and not Protect. I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam, because if he does just go for an attack, like a Fake Out and a Double Edge into my Xerneas, the Intimidate should allow me to survive the Double Edge. But if he goes for a Fake Out and a Tailwind, which is what I think he's going to do, I will have the Fake Out next turn and the Knockout on Incineroar. Yeah, there's a Tailwind, as I expected. Should have known when sorry, didn't Mega Evolve really, but yeah. So now I can just Fake Out the Salamence, and he'll protect the Salamence. So do I? It's unnecessary. I'm thinking, do I? Because he's going to protect the Salamence on my Fake Out Dazzling Gleam or whatever. Do I withdraw into Salamence for another Intimidate, a cheeky Intimidate next turn? I think I do, actually. That feels like such a cheeky, unnecessary play. What will Scrafty do? Go in Rayquaza. And a Dazzling Gleam. I'm thinking Dazzling Gleam gets Incineroar here. I'm at -1 instead of +1 instead of +2 here. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just be Moonblasting the Incineroar, but I'm making some really specific hard reads here that I maybe shouldn't. But yeah, he's doing what I'm thinking he's gonna do. So that's why I'm thinking I should have just Moonblasted the Incineroar here. I'm expecting this to knock it out, but yeah, it does. But I was just getting overly cautious there. And now I can just bring Scrafty back in. And do I protect Xerneas? How many turns of Tailwind has he got left? Not enough. Oh, I'm just gonna attack. Because with a -2, a double edge isn't gonna. Yeah, a -2, a double edge isn't gonna knock out Mario. I was just thinking of like, okay, so if I protected my Xerneas and brought in the Scrafty, that if he called that and just double edged into the Scrafty might have survived anyway at -2. Probably would have. But if it didn't, I would have still had one more turn of Tailwind to worry about. If by some miracle he like critical hit my Xerneas there, then it would have just been my Rayquaza and his Xerneas and his. Yeah, I without a lot of critical hits, I had that game either way. But yeah, I mean, nice that actually, maybe after 2 weeks, 2 weeks, a few hours of recording all this in one go and changing t-shirts in between. After a few hours, I feel like I've actually started to warm up a little bit and started to make some plays in that game. I mean, I don't know, maybe they were just obvious. Probably were. But either way, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe. Please spread the word that Bazzle Sport and Baz Anderson is back. And he is here to take your views. Didn't want to say anything bad there, but yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Get the word out. And tell me what you think in the comments. We'll be back at some point, maybe next week, hopefully next week. With either this team or another team, we'll see. But either way, hope you enjoy it. Bye for now.